hands down, I consider myself the greatest wide receiver to ever play the game. That wasn't a shot at Jerry. I still got respect and love for Jerry, but just thought the way that I changed the game of football. Shannon, do you agree with Moss that he is the greatest wide receiver of all time?
No, and I don't think it's close. And I understand I was in the league when Randy got in the league, and I played a number of years with Randy. T.O. also is in the conversation, and I was in the league with Jerry. But Jerry's the GOAT, and it's not even close. Because here's the one thing, and I was having this conversation last night, guys, on Nightcap with Ocho, and Ocho say, forget the numbers. How do we forget the numbers? How do we forget 13-time Pro Bowl, a 10-time All-Pro, 3 Super Bowl wins, a Super Bowl MVP, 2-time Offensive Player of the Year? At 40 years old, the man had 1,200 yards. And the one thing that I can't get past is that Randy Moss once said on live television, I play hard when I want to. We've watched him continuously, numerous times, walk off the ball and not block. You talk about, everybody says, well, Randy Moss got a catch named after him, Moss. Where do you think Yak came from? Where do you think Rat came from? Yards after catch, run after catch. Who you think they put that term in for, guys?
Jerry Rice.
Man, y'all better stop playing with this man, and I understand. And think about it. Jerry played in the era where they knocked your block off.
Hell yeah. I'm going to say this. I think this starts getting into the conversation of measurables and talent versus production, right?
Correct.
Because when people talk about Randy having a catch named after him, that's because Randy was 6'4", right? If you watch Randy highlights in high school, he could jump out the gym. He was 4'3". But the things that Jerry Rice was able to do, which we also have to remember, he didn't play in today's football, Shay Sharpe. Jerry Rice played where you ran the ball. Roger Craig and Tom Rathman and all them boys, they got the rock. You know what I'm saying? Like, you played 21 personnel where you had 2 backs, a tight end on the field, and two wide receivers. This was an entirely different game. There weren't these bloated numbers of passing. And look at the longevity. What's the reason that now when you talk about LeBron, it's different now? You've always been a LeBron guy. I'm not saying that it's not when he was at his height or at his peak, but it's that his peak has been longer than anyone's peak in the history of basketball.
Yes.
So was Jerry Rice's.
Thank you.
Jerry Rice was able to be good in different uniforms. Jerry Rice was able to be good in different decades. And Jerry Rice, even though they said he ran 4.6 coming out of HBCU, ran past you. He routed you up. When he caught the rock, he was hard to get on the ground and tackle. And so I get Randy from this standpoint. Randy was the scariest thing I ever stood across from.
So you don't think it's close either?
No, I don't think it's close. I don't think it's close in that conversation. This is sort of like having the conversation of Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. Even though Jerry Rice is more talented at what he did than what we expected or saw Tom Brady as, is that Randy had this immense talent, but Randy ain't do with it what Jerry did with his.
Good.
No. I mean, you think about, he has 7,000 more yards. He has 50 more touchdowns. He has 600 more catches. He has seven more Pro Bowls, 6 more All-Pro teams. Come on, people. You look at disregard the numbers. How? It is a numbers game.
I mean, even the number he does have, Randy Moss, single season record, but Moss needed 16 games to break the record. Rice only needed 12.
Yeah, but it's just Jerry Rice Jerry Rice did it in a way that, even though Randy's saying he revolutionized it, actually Jerry did first, right? Randy revolutionized it from the physical standpoint, the physicality in which he played. And I'm not talking about violence. It was just it was so graceful because he was long and he was thin and he could run. But Jerry actually imposed his will on a defender, right? Like Jerry broke people. You went into the game and you knew, man, you know what? Randy might bomb on me today. I got to stay deep. I'm going to back up a little bit. Jerry did it to you in so many ways.
And he's a all-decade player in the 80s and the 90s. In 2 decades. Let that sink in.
Yeah.
There are not a whole lot of guys that's been an all-decade player in 2 decades. And Jerry's been an all-decade player in 2 decades. You just can't deny his numbers. And I'm not saying Randy is not transcendent and historically great. But Jerry's on another level. I can make a case that Jerry is the greatest football player.
That's what I was
Forget
about
position.
to say. If it wasn't for Tom Brady, we would say there would be many conversations where Jerry Rice was the greatest football player of all time.